So in this video, I'm going to break down how we go about creating the characters to use in After Effects. Now, a lot of the questions I get asked is, how do you make the characters move? And the issue that most people have is that they bring them in as a flat object, and you need to make sure that they are on the individual layer. So let me show you here. Look, as you can see here, I have got a few characters that I brought in via FreePik. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all these just here because we don't want them. We're just going to focus on the one just here. So let's make it a little bit bigger, just there. Now the issue is a lot of the times people try and use the pin tool in After Effects, and even when you use that, you can't pin the individual legs. So if you pin here and try and move it, this whole thing is going to move. Pin isn't my favorite. There's a lot of issues with it, like when you try and rasterize the layer to get that HD export at the end, it's not going to be able to do it all the time. And also you always get that bendy look, and sometimes you want more of a natural feel to the movement. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that the leg, or every aspect, is broken down into its individual layers. So when you move the foot, it moves by itself, or when you move the thigh, then it moves the leg and the foot in the direction, and then you can move the bottom leg and everything. So to do that, we've got to make sure that we break it down onto its own individual layers. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to create a new layer up the top just here, and I'm going to call this top of left. Well, let's call it left leg top, just there. Brilliant. And I'm also going to create a few more. So we're going to have left leg bottom, and also left leg foot, just there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all click here, and I'm going to ungroup it all. At the moment this is grouped, so don't want that. I'm going to ungroup it so I can get just the foot and the leg. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to Control X just to cut it, and then go to left leg. Now if I just paste it onto this layer up here by pressing Control V, you see that it's going to centralize it. It's going to bring all the way up here. I don't want that. I don't want to have to like move it all the way down and things like that. Mostly because I've got it on several layers and I want it to all be the same. So if I, on a Windows, if I hit Control Shift and V, then it's going to paste it back into the same area. Now what I can do here is I can also add it to here and to here. So I can add it to all three layers, and then I've got the individual elements up there. Now let me just add it back to the top, just like that. There you go. So now I've got it onto the three layers. I'm going to work on the top one first of all. So what I want is I just want this top element up here, the top bit of the leg. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the foot. So I'm working on this layer just here, this one just here. Let's actually turn these off, the eyelet, to make sure that I don't accidentally click on them. And I'm working on this top layer just here. So I'm going to delete the foot just there. Then I'm going to go and get my pen tool, and then what I can do is I can remove these. So you can see now I've got a little line where the pen tool is. Now there's two ways of doing this. I can just press them there and it will delete them just there and create that. The other way is if I have the select tool here, I can select them individually just there, and then you see it leaves a gap just here. So if I go to the pen tool, then I can just link them back up there. Now what I'm also going to do is I'm also going to just add a little bit of a curve. So I'm going to add one there, that's it. And now if I press Alt just there, well, select it, press, which one is it? No, I'm not on pen tool, that's why. Select my pen tool just there and go to Alt, and then I can just move it across just there. Brilliant. So now I've got my top left leg. So now what I need to do is I need to do the same with the bottom. So now let me just have the bottom highlighted just here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this, delete the foot, I should say. Just make sure I'm on the right one. So delete the foot just there. There is another foot visible. I'm not sure which one it is. I'm going to delete that just there because I don't want the foot and I just want the base. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete everything from up here. So I'm going to delete that one up the top, that one just there, that one, and that one. And I've got two showing. I don't want two showing. I think I've got double layered them just there. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I accidentally copied it twice onto this layer. Right, so now what I can do is I can just line those up, and then I can add a little marker there. I'm also going to add one down bottom, just that's it, and then get a pen tool, push it up, brilliant, get the pen tool again, and then just add a little bit of a curvature on them, which just helps. Now once I've got them in After Effects, I can come back here and alter these should I want to, and it will update After Effects. Now that's really good as well. So if you're using pen tool, then it will completely throw things out. So not pen tool. If you're using the pin tool, I should say, the pin tool in After Effects, and you try and change them in Illustrator, then it will mess everything up, and you don't want that. So this way is better at working. Right, so I've done that. Now I'm just going to bring the top layer back on, and you can see now that they overlap quite nicely, which is what I want. So down here, I now need to do the foot, just here. So you can see here, let's just bring these off just here, and I've got the foot down here. Again, I've accidentally, so I'm going to delete the leg, because I don't want the leg, I just want the foot. And you can see now that I've just got the foot selected. What I'm going to do is I am going to add just a bit of an ankle. I like to add a bit of an ankle just there. So I'm just going to do that just in case I move the layer. I'm just going to go up to here and just make sure that's down there so it's underneath. Just in case I move the foot slightly out, and when it rotates, you see the ankle as part of the where the trouser was, and I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to pin tool now, and I can pin this just here. Come on, just there. Let me just add that there. I'm just going to bring that up just there, and then I'm going to add the curvature. Brilliant. Just there. Brilliant. Now the only thing I noticed which might be an issue is just up here. So this bit up here is straight. So when you bend it, you're going to get it's going to look a bit weird. But we can look at that in After Effects and add something to it should we need it during the bend. I think as we go forward it might work. I think we might just have to just bend this one slightly just there. But again, if you can see here, if I move the arm, just here, if I move this arm, you can see that might look a bit weird just there. So we'll leave that straight for now. Okay, so now I have got that leg sorted. So what I need to do is I need to do the same with the other leg. Let me just bring the foot down here so it's all lined up nicely. Brilliant. So what I need to do now is I just need to make sure that I do the same with the other leg. Can you see here actually that round bit has meant that it's overlapping down here, which actually I don't want, which is fine. So because I got the ball on the other one, on the foot just here, there, actually I don't need that on the trousers. Cool, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly do this with the rest of the other aspects of this character. Now what I can do here with the arm, the legs sometimes are slightly different. You can, because they've got this bit at the top here which is kind of structured slightly different, it meant that I got to do two different legs. But if they were the same, if they were just round pinned at the top here, then you could use the same leg and just duplicate it. And that's the same thing I'm going to do with the arm here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to delete this arm completely, just there. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to use the same arm twice. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So this arm I'm going to call left arm top, and then the next one down is left arm bottom. You can actually see here I've got a bit of a issue where this arm has already got a bend in, and I actually don't want that because I want to be able to bend it myself. So just here, so what I need to do is I probably need to adapt this one slightly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this out just there. I'm going to bring that one just there. I'm probably going to delete that one actually so it's just straight. Put a joint in there, and then that means now that the arm, I can start to build it so it is straight and not bent. The issue I've got with the bend is if I bend it, it's already a bend in a bend, which is going to start looking weird. So now I've got this here, what I can do is, with the next one, I'm going to take this away, just here. I'm going to remove the top bit, and what I'm doing is I'm just grabbing the selection tool just there, the direct selection tool, and copying all those there and deleting them. So now I've got that just there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that there, add one in the middle. I'm going to bring it out slightly, it just needs to be a bit longer, I believe. Just there. And push the middle one, as I just want to make this big curve. Just there. Now let's rotate it and see what that looks like if I line that up just there. Wow, that's a really long arm. Okay, cool. So that isn't quite right. So what I'm going to do is just grab this and bring it in slightly. I don't want the arm to be as long. Same with that one there. Brilliant. Now let's put that there. Cool. It's pretty still a bit long, so just bring that in. There we go. Okay, cool. Brilliant. And now as I moved it left or right, I'll like move it and rotate it in After Effects. I'll discover if these points here overlap too much or if they're too big, and I can make adaptations then. Now on this one here, the hand is part of it. So I'm actually going to delete the left hand up here and just have it as part of the lower arm, but I can make the hand individual as well and have it rotate. So just remove that there. Right, so what I can do now is, as I said, I can literally copy these over, so they're exactly the same. So if I just created just there. Now it looks a bit weird, but obviously what I will do in the animation is bring it to the bottom. So if I bring it to the bottom here just as an example, then you can see I've got that there. Now maybe I don't want this hand like that, maybe I need to flip it. If I want to flip it, I can just flip it in there, but that is pretty something, so it's that way instead. But that's something I will do in After Effects according to how I want it. Again, I'm not too happy with these hands. I prefer the hands to be a bit more neater, but for this example that will do. So the only thing left is the head. Never miss the head. The head's really good to make sure that you get that nod when you walk, or that bounce that you need. So I'm just going to add another layer. Now there's two aspects to the head to make it work. One is actually the neck and the head, because as you can see here, you got this little bit here, so you don't want this going down, you just want the head itself going down. So I'm going to take it all, I'm going to copy it up onto this line just here, and I'm going to call this my neck, and then I'm going to grab another one just here, and I'm going to call this my head. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to break this apart, so I have them both. I'm just going to copy them first of all. If I press, when I highlight them, if I press the end here, so I get this box and it highlights everything on that layer, which is just sometimes easier to do. So now what I've got is I've got everything on its own layer, just there, which means that when I bring this into After Effects, it means I can attach these together. So when I move the arm base with a rotation, let's do this one here. So connect these two together. So these two act together when I move the top one, when I parent it to it, and also I can move this independently. And that's something that we'll show you in another video. But that's how we go about using Illustrator in order to develop a character so we can use it more effectively in After Effects in order to create walk cycles with characters.